Well, so happy to have one of my favorites actually walk into the studios. I requested him. And there is a backstory which I don't think I should put out on air. But it's been a lovely relationship that we share here of him being an independent artist. And of course, this a platform that gives opportunities to independent artists across the country to showcase their talent. And Dwayne has been such a wonderful person to begin with. And of course, as a talent, you will soon find out. Christmas season, it's the holiday season. We're getting into the spirit. I think we've been in it for a while because we need an excuse when it comes to the festive season. Dwayne, so good to have you in the studios.
Thank you so much for having me. This is awesome. It's always fun being here.
Okay, Christmas while growing up. Tell us a little about that.
Well, the house from the yellow walls turned to red and green because you've got like everything under the sun. That's the theme of Christmas. So you got white, green, and red with a little sprinkle of gold everywhere.
Yeah.
So and the decorations start from the 1st of December. And glitter is everywhere in all of your clothes, no matter how much you try to avoid it and wash it, but it's there. But I think that's the whole part of the Christmas spirit, because it's just the glitter seems like a little bit of magic dust, everywhere, just spreading a little bit of joy.
I know.
So,
I know. We're going to talk about what you like when it comes to food that's cooked, especially what your mum prepares, or now maybe with your wife, what your wife prepares, or what you prepare. That's something we'll talk about when we come back on the other side. But calls for our very first Christmas song. What is it going to be, Dwayne?
Let's go. We'll do a common one that everybody knows, Jingle Bells, obviously, because that's something that everyone, no matter where you're from, and being that, Bombay and India is like a cultural hotpot. Everybody knows what Jingle Bells sound like, so we'll do something common so that everybody can sing along.
Okay.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way, bells on bobtails ring, making spirit bright. What fun it is to ride and sing the sleighing song tonight. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Everyone, hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Woo! We're getting into the Christmas spirit right here on Afternoons with Annie. I'm with Dwayne Gamree. Dwayne, quickly, your Insta handle.
My Insta handle, D Gamree, D with Gamree.
Well, in the Christmas spirit, the holidays season, we have to bring in the Christmas jingles, right? We have to bring in the songs that, of course, some of them that we've grown up listening to. And when you have an artist like Dwayne, you also have something special. Some originals that we may not necessarily have heard of, but they just sound as exotic because they're part of the spirit. They're part of the season. This season does mean a lot of things to everybody across cultures, across all cities. Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, across every corner of the world, actually, where they start doing up the streets to homes. I know of now, I think, every one of my friends coming from different cultures having a Christmas tree in their homes. Isn't that nice to see?
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. And the place and the area where I live in Kurla. So, the area is it's called Christian Village, but we celebrate Ganpati, we celebrate Eid, and everybody and all of the guys who I know growing up, they're just as noisy as when it comes to participating with the drums and everything over there.
Nice.
The people are very chill. The sound, although it does need to cut off by around 10 o'clock, but we'll keep it going a little longer because everybody's in there.
Yeah.
And there's food being shared. There's decorations being put up by everyone. So it's an awesome thing to see how, a festival can just bring community together. Music and food just ties everybody in together as well.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Some good moments where, maybe you're not ready for Christmas, but you've had friends who don't have anything to do with Christmas, maybe necessarily directly, but come and say that you have got to start, and they kind of start with full zest. Has that happened with you?
Yeah, I have an elf at home. That's my wife, and she wants to start picking up Christmas stuff right like 365 days of the year, and same attracts the same. So we ended up having friends, whether there's some of them are non-Catholics or just whatever. Everybody wants to just participate in the whole thing, and you have these little Christmas market fairs that do open up. So everybody wants to go and grab at least one little trinket, like one little bell, one little bauble, whatever it may be, and just hang it up, maybe on the door or somewhere inside their home, or just in the office space, just to deck it up,
that is so cool. I think, the reason that we enjoy Christmas, also it happens to be the end of the year, and that makes it even special. Do you then, with your friends, kind of reflect on the year gone by? I mean, does that happen at all?
No. Too many mistakes to remember. We just said, let it go. That's it. And we move on.
Thinking and moving on, and of course, believing in letting it go, I think it's time to move on to our next Christmas jingle. What's it going to be?
So this one's called Frosty the Snowman. Basically, Christmas magic. This little snowman gets a hat and comes to life and enjoys himself and basically has a ball with the kids around over there. So this is how it goes. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump. Look at old Frosty go. Thumpity thump thump thumpity thump. Over the hill and snow. Frosty the snowman was a jolly happy soul, with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal. Frosty the snowman was a fairy tale, they say. He's made of snow, but the children know how he came to life one day.
Woo!
But there must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found, 'cause when they placed it on his head, he began to dance around. Frosty the snowman was alive as he could be, and the children say he could laugh and play just the same as you and me.
Woo! On the show with me today to bring in the Christmas cheer and the festive spirit, I have Dwayne Gamree, and we are having such a ball. Dwayne, music has been such a big part of your life, and I understand coming from a certain community, especially this one, because there is a necessity that everyone has when you have, certain rituals that you do when you go to church, is we all have to get together and sing. So that's pretty much in our DNA. So it comes naturally to us.
Yep.
But not everybody takes to music.
Yes.
You did, though.
Yes.
When did that begin?
I think that began right from the time I was maybe, 2 or 3 years old.
Mm-hmm. That young, huh?
Very young, because all the adults in my family were always surrounded by music. My grandfather was an avid dancer, and he would always participate. Back in the day, they would have these ballroom competitions, and spaced across all different, churches all around. And he was one of the guys who was there, participating, dancing, Bicycle boy. So so that's when it got passed down to my mom, and then obviously it ended up trickling down to me. So the most fond memories I have of music is, when we would have weddings, seeing both of them on the dance floor, just having a ball of a time. And I think dancing and his collection of music was the introduction of music to me and singing to me. Yeah.
As you grew older, I'm sure there were influences that were different. From, of course, the music that you heard or you were listening to or you were watching when you were growing up, to things that you started picking up as you grew older. So some of the artists that you really, really love and revere.
Okay. So chronological order. So obviously it started off with Jim Reeves and Elvis. Then it moved on to Michael Jackson. Then there was the boy band phase, which had Backstreet Boys and Boyzone. Those are the two that I picked up on. Spice Girls also. They had some really lovely harmonies in there.
Yes, they did.
Then Bryan Adams.
Okay.
And after Bryan Adams came in, everybody else sort of took a back seat. Followed with Sting. So these two are my go-to guys when it comes to, trying to understand lyrics, trying to understand melody, trying to understand composition.
Yeah.
And, luckily enough, I've been able to meet a lot of people from the industry who've broadened my understanding of music. So then I had ABBA, Fleetwood Mac, and Louis Armstrong, and you name it. So yeah, I think in school one of the phases I was going through was that whole Linkin Park episode, and that's because obviously friends, and we would do like
rock music is our thing.
Correct, exactly. So I remember one very weird thing that happened is we were doing Numb as a performance, and I, because I was already part of the choir, I very happily started harmonizing to one of the parts, and all my friends are staring at me, dude, you're not singing this right. I'm like, okay, fine, I get it. It doesn't belong here right now. It's not in this space. So yeah. So
that is so cool. That is so cool. Harmonies. That's something just adds, another layer of complexity, but in the most beautiful manner. Not something that everybody can crack. On that note, what's the next song going to be?
So next one, I'm going to introduce you to a new one, which was introduced to me by a very close friend of mine, Brunel. And it's called I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. And the reason why, I like it because it's very generic. It's very, it's not specific to any culture. It's not specific to anything. It's just a cute little kid who just has this idea of getting like a hippopotamus for Christmas. So that's how the song goes.
Go for it.
And this was like, I think it was back in 1953. Gayla was the lady who sung it out. So this is how it goes. Yep. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. I don't want a doll, no dinky tinker toy. I want a hippopotamus to play with and enjoy. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't think Santa Claus will mind, do you? He won't have to use a dirty chimney flue. Just bring him to the front door, that's the easy thing to do. I can see me now on Christmas morning, creeping down the stairs. Oh, what joy and what surprise when I open up my eyes to see a hippo hero standing there.
Ooh. Oh my God, hippopotamus. I think I want a hippopotamus
and there's
for Christmas.
A really lovely verse that comes after this, like, mom says a hippo will eat me up, but then teacher says a hippo is a vegetarian. So, so it's cool.
Let's hear that. That'll be lovely.
So basically it goes, there's lots of room for him, I guess. Where did it go? Okay, yeah. So, I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't think Santa Claus would mind, do you? Mom says a hippo will eat me up, but then teacher says a hippo is a vegetarian. I can see me now on Christmas morning, creeping down the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, what joy and what surprise when I open up my eyes to see a hippo hero standing there.
On the show with me today, a whole lot of fun, bringing in the festive, cheer that we're all waiting for, because this is the time I think we like to let loose. I don't know about how much of reflection we really do, which is like how I asked Dwayne, and he says we don't really care much. We just want to get together and we want to be with each other, and that's the whole fun of it. And I think through the lockdown and the pandemic, this has kind of hit us hard. Definitely. And so finding whatever little time we can find for ourselves, we spend it with the people that we really love and care for, and maybe even widen the circle of family and friends, because now we know that time is of
definitely
optimum importance, and it is something that is fleeting. It is literally slipping away, so we might as well make the most of it. But if I have to ask you the question of reflection, what has 2022 been like for you, Dwayne?
It has been great. It has kicked me on the behind and given me that little bit of push that I need to get my work done. Work on myself, my abilities, my working along with friends on music, meeting up with family, staying in touch with family. At times we do end up taking things for granted. We've got WhatsApp, we've got Facebook, we can always
a message will do.
Yeah, so just dropping in a call every once in a while, to the aunts and uncles and the cousins.
Nice.
Just letting them know, some close college friends who've lost touch with, catching up with them as well. Now noticing that everybody my age is kind of getting married or having a baby. So
You already have one. She's 6 years old.
She is 6 and she's a little hurricane. Yes.
Speak quickly about your new music. I mean, what inspires you to write songs that you've been writing? Because they're all emotional. They all have a subtle messaging also in it. Tell us about it.
So all of my songs are from a personal point of view, and then I try to. I realize I get a little critical of myself, so then I try and add in the situation and the crowd around me as well. So no, I'm not the only one who does this. There are other people also. Don't point fingers at me. So yeah. So the most recent one that I did release is called "Let's Get Personal," and just talking about how building connections nowadays is getting a little bit gimmicky and online.
Very fake.
Kind of, yes. And we aren't resorting to the true intent of what we as human beings are. Is looking at those subtle non-verbal cues, understanding a person's tone of voice. You can't get stuff out of a WhatsApp message with an emoji, no matter however it may be. And I'm to blame, because I keep scrolling on Instagram, and my family knows about it. Once they hear this, everybody's going to be nodding their heads.
But it's also part of the job. You're kind of forced and pushed to do it somewhat. But yes, every now and then we've got to know where to draw the line.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what the song's about. People staring at their phones, not living life as it goes. Everybody's just swiping right, swiping left, trying to work out like a love connect. And everybody wants to like, subscribe and follow, which I want you all to do for my song as well. So there you can see.
Let's Get Personal on every streaming platform, by the way. And on streaming platforms, what do you call yourself again? Dwayne Gamree?
Dwayne Gamree, yes.
Okay, that's the full name. Dwayne. Gamree is Gamree, and his Insta handle is D Gamree, which is D, of course, the letter, and Gamree. What are we going to close this session with?
We're going to close one with a song that goes with Fa La 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 La. And everybody knows this part. They may not know the lyrics to the rest of the song, but everybody knows the Fa La 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 La. So that's where we're going to take it. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa La 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 La. 'Tis the season to jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la. While we tell of Yuletide carols, fa la 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 la.
From us to yours, wishing you a Merry Christmas well in advance. It's the holiday season, the Christmas cheer. Of course, I'll wish you a Happy New Year much later. But Dwayne, thank you so much for your time. I just feel like this has to be a never-ending session. And maybe soon I'll have you back in the studios to continue the holiday season.
Everybody's heard it. She's going to call me again. Okay.
Dwayne Gamree in the studios of 94.3 Radio 1. This was lovely. Thank you
for having
so
me here. And Merry Christmas, everyone.
94.3 One World, your station. Radio 1.